Hello and welcome to this AI webinar in June. We're going to talk about unlocking the power of Microsoft Copilot. My name is Julian Fischer. With me is my colleague Felipe Melo. We are going to dive into the capabilities of Microsoft Copilot in various scenarios and live demos. So let's just dive in and not lose any more time. We are going to start with a little bit of an overview regarding AlfaPeople offerings and how we define AI solutions at the moment. And afterwards, I am going to jump into Microsoft 365 Copilot on the examples of Excel and PowerPoint on what it can do and what it can achieve. And afterwards, Felipe Melo is going to take over and is going to talk about the Copilot Studio and the Contact Center. So let's start. Right away, in AlfaPeople, we are defining AI solutions based on their complexities. So as we see the level of customization needed and possible and the time and effort required for the adoption and implementation of solutions, we have defined 3 pillars for AI solutions in Microsoft. First of all, we have the pillar ready to use AI, then the low-code, no-code area, and advanced coding. In the AI ready-to-use area, we can configure Copilot in products and systems as a service and feed Copilot directly into products to pull information from specialized data sources and applications. So basically, your Microsoft D365 or M365 Copilots are in the AI ready-to-use space. And in the low-code, no-code area, we have the possibility to expand Copilots and create or upgrade new Copilots, generate your own Copilots or AI integrations in low-code or no-code tools using systems like the Power Platform or Copilot Studio. So in this webinar, we are going to be moving around in the first and the second pillar predominantly. But last and not least to be mentioned, the advanced coding area is where we can actually develop personalized AI solutions. We can personalize generative AI models with label training data for specific scenarios, for instance, using REST APIs. And in the end, we have solutions such as Azure AI or the AI Foundry in the advanced coding area. It offers the most personalization, but also requires the most effort, evidently. So AlfaPeople really are an AI one-stop shop for all customers, any level of AI maturity, with our service integrated and Microsoft obviously integrated as we are a partner of theirs. So we have 3 main areas that we offer in terms of services regarding AI. We have the vision area, the low-hanging fruit, and the tailor-made area. So the vision area has the AI and Copilot workshop and the Copilot in a day. The workshop is the start of your AI journey, basically, in a 8-hour workshop for people that want to have an overview over what kind of solutions do we have, what is possible. We don't know yet where to go or what to use. That is ideal for you to get a very broad overview in what is there, what is possible, what's the landscape like. Copilot in a day, on the other hand, are like the first steps to explore capabilities of Copilot in its integration into the Microsoft ecosystem to understand the potential of AI in the daily use cases in a hands-on workshop, quite similar as we're going to teaser it today. And the low-hanging fruits with our Start and Go Copilots really are an offering to bring Copilot in D365 ERP and CRM platforms for installation, configuration, training, monitoring, support with a defined scope and integration effort as required into your system and usage. Now, the tailor-made area is offering assessment and implementation. First and foremost, the assessment would be based on a customer-defined need. We would evaluate according to the BXT method, business experience and technology in 3 phases, my bad, 5 phases, to build a solid case with use cases, technical specifications, a time frame and needed investments, and would then lead into planning and implementation, the use case determination, preparation of a feasibility study, presentation of the business case, and a closing. That's a quick rundown of these offerings. So let's jump right into the demos to not lose any time at all. We're going to start with Copilot in M365. So let's start with Excel. in our scenario over here, I am not an Excel wizard in any way, shape, or form. I might also not be part of the accounting team, so quite vaguely unfamiliar with what I have over here. Maybe I've exported a data set from the ERP system and now I need to gather some insights. I need to understand what kind of data do I have over here. This table could be extremely vast. There could be many more tabs, but for now, let's work with what we have over here. So if I don't quite understand how to use Excel or what kind of data I have over here, one of the best things to do is tell Copilot just to show you some insights, right? So no specifics given. Copilot will analyze the table and the information, the data has to be in a table in order for Copilot to understand it and to use it. That is very crucial for us. We need to have Copilot we need to have the data prepared for Copilot. And as you see by the color change over here, it's now drawing from this table. Why is it taking so long? It shouldn't be taking so long, you might think. Well, let's see. We have over here right now a generic overview, the first insight without having given him any specific details on what to look for, right? Meaning that right now the first thing that he gave us is, okay, we have user ID correlated to the amount shipped but not invoiced. So this could be evaluating the performance of our, maybe they are salespersons, based on their volume that they are handling with. We even get a little summary with the top performers over here. And right now with the predefined prompts from Copilot, I can just hit up and say, can I get another insight? And you see how instantaneous I have received the information. That is why on the first part of the analyzation, we have taken a little bit longer because Copilot is going to analyze the table in its entirety on many different things and not just drawing one conclusion and leaving it at that. As you can see over here, we have the possibility to add this information to a new sheet. So if I have a nice graphic, some piece of information from Copilot that I appreciate and I want it saved somewhere, I can always add it into a new sheet. It will not mess with my original sheet and data. And I can build or can start building a dashboard, but why go step by step if Copilot is already prompting me to prompt him to add all insights into a grid? And as we know, Copilot, it's going to do that automatically in a new sheet. And by a grid, this is exactly what we mean, right? You can see right over here that we have all the insights that it has drawn without having given him. I'm stressing this not enough. We didn't give him any metrics. So I might still need to get into it and change what kind of information is going to be displayed over here. But to get an overview and a start of something that I might not have understood right from the beginning, this is a very nice start, isn't it? So also with Copilot, I can jump and interact within my information in Excel. I can go back to the data. I can undo what I have done over here. But let's see, I'm going to change this a bit and you will see obviously now the cell is big enough to display the number, but the undo button is grayed out, which means whenever I have Copilot add or do something to my data, to my sheets, I do need to immediately determine whether or not it was a good change, whether I want to undo it. Otherwise, I will have to do it manually, which is always possible. But depending on the change, how big it is a little bit quicker with Copilot. That's just something to keep in mind. So let's jump back to our data. Let's get back to the actual table that we need. It is pre-selected in its entirety because it was the source for sheet number 3 in this case, right? I've played with this a little bit before. That's why it's sheet number 3 and not sheet number 1 as it would be. It has done that before. And what if I want to see more, right? These are nice and generic insights. If I want to build a dashboard, I have a perfect layout right now in sheet number 3 and could start making it on brand or making it look a little bit nicer for my stakeholders, whichever it is. But what if I need even more insights? But I'm lacking the possibility to achieve that because I'm not an Excel wizard. Well, I don't have a coding background, but Copilot is telling me that I can get a deeper analysis using Python. Python is a programming language. I can't do that, but Copilot can do it for me. So let's get started. Okay, I want a deep analysis. So let's see what it's giving me. And again, without having to really give him any more details on anything, um, we get we get actionable insights using Python with correlations that we would not have otherwise achieved, specifically not in that velocity, right? We have a total revenue across all the sheets. I'm not sure whether this table even gave us a summary, or the original data gave us a summary like that. We can have an overview over the revenue per shipping status, which it did unprompted, right? Over here, I have the possibility to ask for very specific things, but if I'm either not sure yet what I want, or I'm somewhat indifferent on what it is, I can use the predefined prompt and just start building on this page together with Copilot, and maybe eventually deleting a couple of cells, a couple of things that I might not need, or move it to another area, but really take advantage of this technology in that sense. Visualize it super easily within seconds. Please, Anna, explore trends in the transaction dates. I could be playing on and on. The more I know what I want, the easier and the better I get there, obviously. I am right now playing around just to show you that even without knowing what I'm looking for, just to understand what is happening over here, within 5 or 10 minutes before a meeting, using Copilot and having good latency with your internet, obviously, I can get real insights and be very much prepared in order to somewhat present the kind of data that has been handed to me. And I think that is very much fantastic. As you can see over here, I can finish the analysis mode if I feel like this has been enough. So now I'm back to talking to good old normal Copilot. Another thing that I'm able to do right now is I can ask Copilot to make changes to the table, right? I can not only use it to understand the table, but also to change it. So what I wanted to do right now is I wanted to create a new column for cost, which is taking the amount of included tax and reduces it by, say, 20%, because that's going to be my margin. So let's see whether Copilot is going to deliver on what we are trying to tell it, on what we want. Um, has it finished its task already? No, not yet. Okay, there we go. So what we get right here is a preview, and we get the formula that it has used based on our description. So if I understand what I might need and might not need, I can check whether it has understood, because it's explaining the formula too, right? Whether it fully understood and therefore applied the right formula, um, which I then check over here before even adding it to the table, right? Just by hovering over it, I get a preview on how it will affect the table, which is the case for most changes in Copilot. And again, if I make it a little bit larger, I can no longer, well, just undo it like that by Copilot at least. So what I will do next is I'm going to build on the first prompt. So now I want to create a margin column which subtracts the cost from the amount, including tax. So Copilot really, in this case, is going to work with my context. So again, you see the color changes. It's drawing from the right table over here. Well, this one is still selected, so it's not changing. Again, I get a preview of the formula. I could take the formula and just copy and go elsewhere. On this instance, I don't have to take Copilot in order to make changes like that. I could also just ask it for help with formulas, which is another very good use case, right? If I'm unfamiliar, I might just describe what I want Copilot to help me find, what kind of formula I need to reach what I want to see in the end. So one last thing that I want to show you, right, is conditional formatting, right? Let's suggest some conditional formatting. Let's see what he wants us, what he suggests us to do. So right here, highlight the top 10 in column margin. That sounds lovely, right? Let's see which transactions have been yielding the highest revenue or the highest monetary value. He's not only analyzing that, but also using a generic pre-selected filter over here, making it yellow. Well, it should be. Let's apply it. It's finished loading. And as you can see, I have very easily and very quickly not only identified all the positions that I need, but also highlighted them. So like that, I can very easily, very quickly prepare in conversational manner an Excel sheet, an Excel table in ways that I make it more presentable, visually appealing, and for the next person to open this sheet, very easy to identify what has happened over here and what we might be looking for. So let's let it be with Excel right now and move on to PowerPoint. So this is usually where we're going to start, right? We have an empty PowerPoint sheet. We have Copilot on the side, but we also have it on the top. I appreciate Copilot on the top side a little bit more because it is really generating and editing slides, in my opinion, better than on the sidebar. It sometimes has its restrictions. So right now I want to create a presentation based on a file. So with this dash, I'm going to identify a file. Oh, there we almost had it. I'm going to identify a file that I want to use. I might need to pitch this product to a prospect or to a customer, and I can't do that in a format that is Word. So since I've seen that the original file is in German, I'm going to tell it has to be in English, just to make sure that we're on the same page. And then I will let Copilot design it. And now we are in the narrative builder, which means you see already I can select entire sections. I can move them around. The product description could be moved to the end, but usually Copilot, especially on a template that has been given to it beforehand, will use a predefined format and order of contents, in this case based on my file. I can add a new topic. I can add sections like let's draw something from the internet. Compare our product to the average market product. Right? Let's not only show all the specifications of our product, we're talking about computers over here, by the way, but make a comparison of our product versus the average market in order to highlight even more. Perfect, this has been added. So let's now generate it. Once I'm fine with the order, because this is still a format where I can easily move things around, as opposed to later when I have entire sections and slides. It just helps to give you a space where you can think about what is the sequence in which I want to show the contents, what is needed first. Specifically, if you have given an agenda maybe from a customer workshop, they will likely tell you in what order they are expecting things to happen. Just make sure you have everything in there section-wise. And then once we click generate, we see how Copilot is giving us a little teaser over here on what it is looking like. The slides and sequence, the headers, we are adding more and more contents, and eventually we are arriving in a very generic overview that is different from this thumbnail that we usually have, which is that over here we can, on the left hand side, always see the title slides and then the content slides for the section. They always have a section for each part, as we've seen it earlier. Copilot is very good in doing that, and it has added some imagery and some font that makes sense. So we have overall a very cohesive new PowerPoint. I can keep it, I can remove it. And now if I want to get rid of this view because, oh, look, I want to change something in the clock speed or have a deeper look, just double click in it and we're here. So why is it not satisfying to me? Well, I'm working in a company, right? So I want it to use the company branding. So our marketing team and our branding team has done a splendid job of creating this PowerPoint, of editing and curating the title slides, the master slides over here, making sure that we have branding everywhere where we want it. But it's not drawing it, is it, right? So why wasn't it available for me earlier? Okay, so if I go back to it right now, right again, when we say presentation with file of Wordfile, we have here the preview of the presentation designs available, and either use a recent template, an organization template if they have shared any with me, or a Microsoft template, right? I can use a selection of templates that is curated to be used by Copilot. That is the thing, that is the problem that we have right here. The template needs to be prepared in a way that Copilot can use it. And what is needed for Copilot to use a template that you have defined? It needs, as a key requirement, different sizes of placeholders to support a large range of text and context length. So basically, the usual master deck slide that you have is too short. So what you want to do is you want to add this kind of template, these placeholders, into your usual Copilot master slide deck over here. As you can see, it's many more than usual, and it's a little bit tedious work in order to get them all over, but you have to select all of them in order to make it possible for Copilot to draw on them, which is what you want to do. You can download these this Copilot PowerPoint starter template from Microsoft, and then in this PowerPoint, you basically have instructions on how and where to do it in order to get the content that you desire, right? So I have done that. I've prepared that because it would be too tedious not to do that. We don't have the time to go through all the tiny steps and then change all the PowerPoint slides. I am going to show you right now how it looks like on my end. You see there's many slides. It looks somewhat different from before because there's some formats, frankly, that weren't there, like this, for instance. I know it's just a red ribbon, but this is just an example in order to be prepared for whatever Copilot might want and need. And as you can see, it is started as presentation 5. It no longer says our grouper or template as it did earlier, because this, in fact, now is my template. You can see right over here, we have the template immediately pre-selected just by going on this file. So what is the, again in English, sorry. So what is the key difference? Once you have changed the slide master and made and copied all the placeholders for Copilot and made them to your branding, you need to save it as a PowerPoint template. If you just save it as a PowerPoint, Copilot will never be able to draw on it. So I am very much fine with the order. I'm going to skip the part of the internet content right here. I want to show that it works and that you can do fantastic things with it within your branding, because the benefit of Copilot in PowerPoint is to jumpstart a presentation in seconds or in a minute, right? So especially if you have a file that you can use, that you can reference. You can also reference mails or other things that might be in your graph or in your tenant. Copilot is helping you to cut down on the cost of creating meticulously curated PowerPoints, but instead jumpstarting the process, as we discussed earlier in Excel, and then just do a little bit of fine tuning on what you really need. Or if you want to do some research and present a potential prospect to your management in order to pursue a pre-sales case, why not use Copilot in this format to use your branding, but ask with web grounding for it to give you a rundown of the prospect what their numbers are, what they stand for, their industry. So over here, again, Copilot has used automatic imagery in order to make it more lively. We can now, of course, jump in and change images if we want. We have the opportunity to use Copilot on the side and interact with the slide, either again here from the top or from the side. On the side, I feel like it's a little bit different in terms of you can get previews, you can get rundowns and summaries, but with that you have the immediate changes rather. So I personally use the right-hand side, the Copilot ribbon, to ask questions and get information and converse, and this area to create. However, what I like about this area over here is I can switch Copilots, right? Never mind the sales RFI and sales EIA. Those are AlfaPeople internal agents. Another exciting topic that at some point we could be talking about. But I could use the visual creator in terms of creating an imagery that I want to exchange over here and then have it inserted. However, the big point is we can now use Copilot and have our own branding applied anytime we need it. And it's done very easily and something that I've been waiting for a long time. This is my time talking of time. So thank you for listening so far. And now I'm going to hand over to Felipe Melo.
Hello, everyone. I am Felipe. I am a cloud solution architect here on AlfaPeople, and today we will talk about the AI shift. Why? Because the AI is becoming more than a tool already. It's becoming our teammates, and we will explain this in the next slides. The question in everyone's mind then is how our business using AI to transform and drive impact. We want to use AI, we have process in our companies, but how we really can achieve all the potential of AI in our companies. Mainly today, we have two ways to describe the artificial intelligence. We have the co-pilots, and when we say co-pilots, we are also referring here to Microsoft's Copilot. And every employee today already have a Copilot where these agent, this human agent, can chat about, can brainstorm, and it's mainly our personal assistant. We can talk to him and we can understand better some nice information based on the knowledge that we give to this Copilot. Copilots usually are grounded in work content like email, meetings, and document, and is the UI for AI. We'll talk about this a little more in the next slides. But the other way to refer about AI and our AI tools is agents. Different from the copilots that we have, agents are more focused on process, mainly tasks that previously we had to do repetitively. Now we don't need anymore because agents, with an AI, can process this task and do it by themselves. Some of these tasks can even be autonomous. And when we talk about agents, we are talking about AI-powered systems with actions, triggers, knowledge that works on behalf of employees, teams, and functions. Like a teammate that we have not only for help us to brainstorm, but now he is executing a task, he is executing a process. And specifically, when we talk about agents, we are talking about agents that we build, so agents that we create as a unique business process that were customized by us using, for example, edge resources. We are also talking about agents built by Microsoft itself. Today, we already have some Dynamics 365 agents. We have agents created by Microsoft and SharePoint. And we also have agents built by third-party ISVs that also connect to the Microsoft infrastructure that we can leverage. We can say that Copilot is the UI for AI. And why we say that? Because imagine that we have a human agent talking with a Copilot. Copilot Studio is orchestrating everything, all the chat, all the conversation. And if at some point of this conversation, the Copilot understands that it needs to trigger an action or it needs to trigger a specific agent, it can do using Copilot Studio. So there will be chats where we will just talk and brainstorm and receive feedback. But there will be tasks where we need to trigger a process. So Copilot Studio can connect all these intelligence in just one place, and we can do both things with just one system. That is, we can have just one place to build and customize our agents, and this is also extendable in Azure. We have multiple channels where we can deploy our chats in Copilot Studio, like websites, Teams, Facebook, WhatsApp, and others. And also we can connect Microsoft Copilot Studio with your custom apps. Specifically, when we're talking about agents, we have we have three types of agents. We have the retrieval agents that is these agents where they will just retrieve information and send this information to the human agent. We have agents that make tasks. So these are agents that already maybe update databases, that conclude the task on behalf of a human agent. These are agents that are task agents. And we also have the autonomous agents, the more advanced ones. These are a kind of innovation. There are agents that will work without human supervised. They will be triggered by some process or even triggered by itself in some kind of moment. And then they will do a task from start to end. So these are the autonomous agents. These are the three types of agents that we have. And now we are talking about our real good product that also have all these AI connected on it, have agents connected to it, have copilots connected to it, and will help us to modernize our contact center. This is Dynamics 365 Contact Center. Today, everyone can already transform your contact center with AI using the AI First Contact Center from Microsoft. Why this is a potential use case for every company today? Well, today we have multiple channels. For example, we have live chat on our website. We have social media, emails, SMS, and voice. And our customers are trying to talk with us in all these channels. And it's hard for our agent in our company to read all these channels, read all these funnels, and really give a good feedback, a good answer to the customer to solve our customers' issues. So today, the typical contact center infrastructure also causes friction. The customer, the agent does not have a 360 degree of the customer itself. So how can we solve this kind of problem? Well, we can use Dynamics 365 Contact Center. Dynamics 365 Contact Center, powered by Copilot Studio, is one place where we can have all our channels. We can deploy chatbots, message chatbots, but also voice chatbots with IVRs that can read everything from our customer from multiple channels and deliver a very good experience to our agents, having a 360 degrees view of our customer. So here we have a good solution, a very nice solution that boosts the customer experience. It's an end-to-end solution, Copilot first and cloud-based. And for contact center, we have some levels of adoptions and scalability. First of all, we have the basic contact center capabilities, just one channel. Then we have customer record integration and intelligent routing in some channels. After the third level of adoption is creating an IVR, giving more knowledge, and also answer our customers based just on our knowledge base with AI generative. So the AI will generate all the context and all the messages that we want. The fourth is medium complexity procedures, automation, maybe many channels, creating here maybe task agents and also autonomous agents. And the fifth The highest one is creating now procedures automations in all channels and maybe with multiple autonomous agents. So contact center will help us from basic to the most high complex in just one place. Let's talk about our here a demonstration that we will have. So imagine this scenario. Contoso industrial product. It's about a company use case from fiction, of course. But it's imagine that is a global provider of industrial equipments and materials, and that has recently faced an increase in customer complaints regarding service quality and delayed responses. To address this issue, Contoso will implement Microsoft 365 Contact Center, which will offer centralized management of customer inquiries and AI-driven solutions to streamline communication. Uh, what we will see here, having this context of this use case, is a demonstration of how the conversational IVR works. Let's see how contact center can help our customer and also can help our agents to be connected with the right information.
Hello. Thank you for calling Contoso. It's very good to have you here. Please tell me, why are you calling today?
Our company just bought a new XT500. Could you clarify what tools are needed to assemble it?
For assembling the XT500, you will need a 3/16 wrench, pliers, and a 5mm screwdriver. Is there anything else that I can help you with?
Could you confirm if XT500 supports up to 20 units?
The XT500 supports up to 10 units, not 20 units. This is the answer that you needed?
I see. Do you know if the XT700 supports up to 20 units?
Yes, the XT700 supports up to 20 units. This is the answer that you needed?
Okay, I think I need to change my order from XT500 to XT700. Is there still time for it?
Yes, this is still possible, because your order have not been sent yet. Just to confirm, would you like to make changes in your XT500 order with a tracking number ending in 4566?
Yes.
I will need you to confirm your identity by entering your 4-digit company PIN. Please, can you tell me your company PIN?
2008.
This is not the right PIN. Let us try again. Please, can you tell me your company PIN?
Oh, sorry. 2009.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Just to confirm, would you like to change your order tracking number ending in 4566 and replace the XT500 with the XT700?
That is correct.
The order amount will change from $9,500 to $12,500. Do you confirm the change?
Yes.
The change has been completed. You will receive your order in 5 business days. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, I would like to discuss a new project we will implement in our company. Could I talk to one of your experts?
Sure. To ensure I will transfer to the correct expert, could you explain what kind of project you would like to discuss?
Absolutely. We plan to replace 5 XT500 in our company.
Okay. I am transferring you to one of our experts.
Hi, I am Felipe from the Contoso project team. How can I help you today? As you can see, the conversational IVR is very smart and we can connect multiple sources and process to it. But let's unbox Contact Center and see what we have inside it. How can we implement it? So we have 2 ways of implementing Contact Center. We have the first option, where is the direct offer from Microsoft. You can use Microsoft as your voice carrier and then connect this using Azure Communication Services to our Contact Center. And also we have the option 2, where you can bring your own carrier So it does not matter if it is Microsoft or if it is another one, you can use it in contact center, connect to it, and there is no problem. All voice channels will be in Azure Communications Service, and the telephony will be provided as you want, suitable for your specific needs. When we're talking about Azure AI services, we have the Prebuilt AI, for example, Azure Cognitive Services. We have Conversational AI with Azure Bot Framework. We have Custom AI with Azure Machine Learning, and everything is also extendable in high complex scenarios and projects. And we have OpenAI connected on in this too. So as you can see, we have a very solid infrastructure to help us driven anything that we need. Here is a demonstration of how the agent on contact center can attend to one specific call. So as you can see here, I am on the contact center screen, and on my right pane, I can accept a call that have been already filtered and redirected to me. On the left pane, I can see all the conversation that the bot already had, and I can have more information created by Copilot Studio as well. As you can see here, I have on the left the conversational summary, I have on the middle the timeline highlights, and on the right side, I have my Copilot assisting me with key points of this conversation. So when the agent gets the call, he already knows how to proceed with Copilot help. Also, if he wants to maybe connect to the knowledge base, make a question for Copilot based on that call on the knowledge base, he can just type questions, send to it, and Copilot will process and get back with the right knowledge base solution. Now let's talk, how can we help you impact your business with real AI solutions? First, we have our AI and Copilot workshop, when we can start supporting your AI journey. We use some design thinking techniques to try to understand your challenges in your process and have a high level strategic roadmap. These workshops have an 8-hour duration, and can be remote or even face to face. Other option that you have to start is using the Copilot in a day workshop. This is a workshop of 4 hours where we are taking the first steps towards demystifying Copilot's capabilities and also integrating it into your Microsoft ecosystem. Then, if you want really to start already using some AI in your company, you can use Start and Go Copilot. This accelerates the adoption of some features of AI because it's already configured and installed. It already can be configured and installed by our expert. You have the installation, configuration, training, monitoring, and also support with a defined scope of work. And third, we can also create some assessment. If you already have a solid business case, we can help you to create technical specifications, timeline, understand what will be the investment of this project in your company. These will be our assessment. We can help also your companies with this. So that's it. Thank you very much for your time. It's very good to have you here, and see you in the next opportunity. Thank you very much.